أكيد
Hospitals are overwhelmed and understaffed. Nasser Hospital in southern Gaza is one of the few still functioning, but Israeli airstrikes nearby could force it to shut down. The sun sets over Gaza on another day of death, destruction, and communication blackouts.
More than 100 people are dead after an attack in Gaza City.
2 Palestinians were reported killed and 15 others wounded.
A 12-year-old Palestinian boy, Rami al-Hawli, was shot and killed by Israeli police.
More than 100 Palestinians have been killed while waiting for food aid in Gaza City.
Situated in the southernmost tip of the seaside territory, Rafah is home to more than 1.3 million internally displaced people who fled the north of Gaza. In recent days, media reports said that encampments of tents have been erected in the adjacent town of Khan Yunis to accommodate people fleeing Rafah ahead of a major Israeli military operation.
Israel has been threatening to invade Rafah for more than a month now, and we are extremely worried, especially that Israeli attacks against Rafah have increased in recent days.
Well, as Israel continues with some of the fiercest fighting in months in northern Gaza, Israeli tanks have reached some residential areas of Rafah in the south. Hundreds of thousands of civilians have fled the city ahead of a threatened ground offensive. Israel's allies have repeatedly warned against a major assault on Rafah, but Israeli military forces have stepped up their activity. They say they are targeting several Hamas battalions.
Good evening. Today, Israel battled to repel a surprise invasion of its territory after Palestinian militants launched highly coordinated attacks from Gaza. Thousands of rockets were fired into Israel as gunmen infiltrated several border towns and bases, kidnapping civilians and soldiers.
Tonight, a fresh wave of rockets has hit Tel Aviv, with the Israeli military saying it's fighting in 22 locations, as the government confirms over 250 Israelis are now dead, at least 1,600 injured, and an unknown number remain in captivity. The question many Israelis are asking now is how? How was Hamas able to carry out such a massive attack? Remember, Israel arguably has the most powerful and best...
Hamas is an Islamist organization and political party that runs the Gaza Strip, home to 2 million Palestinians. It was founded in 1987, during the first Palestinian uprising against Israel's occupation of Gaza and the West Bank. Its name is short for Islamic Resistance Movement in Arabic. Its founding charter called for the destruction of the State of Israel and the killing of Jews. Since its formation, Hamas has carried out suicide bombings, rocket attacks, and kidnappings, which led some countries to designate the group as a terrorist organization.
The Israeli Air Force striking more than 70 targets across the Gaza Strip over just one day. The Israel Defense Forces providing the information and saying that its targets included weapons depots, infrastructure, and buildings that belong to the terror groups and operatives.
In Rafah, in southern Gaza, where 1.5 million displaced Palestinians are sheltering, Israeli planes targeted Al Farouk Mosque in the city center. Residents say it housed a library with a collection of historical texts. This is what's left of a 3-story building in Beit Lahia, leveled by Israeli airstrikes in northern Gaza. Much of the north of the Strip resembles a wasteland, with no building and no body untouched by Israel's war.
Apparently women and children were the only ones inside. We haven't found a single survivor.
Families, forced to say goodbye, are inconsolable.